right, looks like we're live. Good evening, everyone. I will hereby call the July, oh wait, sorry, I'm reading. Do I have the wrong,
August.
or does it just say, this is our agenda?
This is the date of the memo.
No, the agenda. Sorry. This is our agenda.
August 8th.
Yeah.
Yes. There it is.
Mine says July 11th. That threw me off. I don't know why.
That's weird.
Oh, all right, so
Are you
I'm
looking for the
confused.
Old package?
No, this is my, did I grab the wrong
You
one?
ended up printing out the wrong one, or what? You can have this one.
No, this was in my package.
It looks like that's.
I have the right package.
Is this one? It's June.
No.
Should be July.
Did I grab the wrong one on my way out?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
last.
Sorry about that.
That's last. You can have mine if you'd like.
Okay, well, this is an easy one too then. All right, sorry about that, everyone. So I will call, I'm glad I saw that, call the August 8th Planning Board meeting to order. First up is roll call. Oh, thanks. Melinda,
Present.
Jenya,
Present.
and I'm Dan Cobb, and I'm present, and Tamara is excused this evening, so it'll be just the three of us. Okay, next up is minutes approval for the July 11th meeting. Any corrections, or is there a motion to approve them?
Yep. Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? And I'll vote for it, I wasn't here. But if you're happy, I'm happy. All right, information exchange. Any information, Kristen?
Yep, just sharing updates mostly on ordinances. The accessory dwelling unit ordinance amendment went to second reading at the July 16 council meeting and becomes effective August 15. So those changes were with relation to owner occupancy and size. So the size will now be 800 instead of 750. And owner occupancy will no longer be required. The other one that came before you was the cannabis caregiver retail storefronts that came to public hearing before this board. It's going to second reading before the town council on August 20, because they only meet once a month in the summer months. So August 20 is the next time, if you have any comments related to that. And just put if anyone is watching in the public, that putting the word out that the board is always looking for additional members. If anyone wants more information about joining the planning board or being part of it, certainly staff, or I'm sure our members are happy to tell you all about it.
All right, thanks. Any other information from the board? I don't have any either. Okay, new business. First up is the 2025 Planning Board schedule. So now I didn't do a good job of keeping track of the stuff Kristen gave me. Here we go.
Now we're on
No,
the
I'm
same
good.
page. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't open the wrong stuff again. So how does this look to everyone? So it's typically we're always the second Thursday of the month. Any adjustments, Kristen, to that? Some years I know it falls on a holiday or there's some conflicts, but
Yeah,
I think it-
the dates have been, she took
Yeah.
into consideration any holiday, so we're in
any
play with it.
comments on the dates?
Nope.
I don't have any either, so
We'll see.
Yeah.
I think we can adopt that. You don't need a vote, do you? For any reason?
I don't think we need a formal
I mean,
vote, we just want
yeah.
to have it before you, that it's.
Yeah, so I think we're all good with that. So you can make that official. Okay, next up is West Road subdivision sketch plan review. This is a request by Shane Bradstreet of Bradstreet Builders for a sketch plan review of a proposal to create a 9-lot subdivision on the 25.71 plus or minus acre parcel off Westwood Road on the property of David and Gail Hagar at tax map 12, lot 308-026-000, located in the Lake Zoning District and the Limited Residential and Stream Protection Shoreland Zoning Districts. The proposal is subject to major subdivision plan review and shoreland zoning, including shoreland zoning permit reviews. Do we have an applicant? So if you could just step up to the podium and give us your name, and I think there's a sign-in sheet up there.
My name is Shane Bradstreet. I'm representing Gail and David Hagar. We're looking to do the proposed subdivision with them as a partnership. And do you guys have the paperwork right in front of you?
We do.
Okay. One of the hurdles that we kind of run into is the CMP easement that runs along the top of the property. That's
It's
We ju-
basically that 100-foot dash line right above the top section, and then it runs all the way up to Egypt Road.
So we feel like that's going to impact lot number 6 and 10. So we are probably going to have to delete those from our sketch print. The only other obstacle that we see is lot number 7 for road frontage. So the road that comes off of Westwood would be coming down and turn up towards the CMP easement toward the top of the property. So that technically would give it its proper road frontage. We met with CMP's engineers, and we've been back and forth this week, and there are 2 poles that run down the water line of the property, and there's a transformer at the base here. So talking with them, we felt like it was the best option to delete the poles down here, so they would no longer need access to the property. CMP is working on, they gotta move it up the chain to their higher ups. But their engineering department wants to bring 3 poles down Westwood, and then we would go underground from Westwood to 2 transformer points on the property that would take care of all the lots proposed. As of right now, we still need to get an approval on that from their higher ups, but that's kind of what we're proposing.
All right, I'm just catching up. I remember what happened now is I took this package and read it where I don't usually read it. And then on the way out, I grabbed last month's because it was right where I always leave my planning board stuff. So I need to take just a second to look this over. And do you have an extra copy of the memo for tonight?
No. I can print one if you want.
No, that's fine. We can just share that. If I remember right, wasn't there a common area you were talking about
Yeah.
as well? Because that was one of the things I had a question about specifically. I think it would be good, Kristen, we don't need it tonight, I don't think, but there's the consent agreement, and we should know what is allowed there.
Yeah, I do have that in the memo. I did look over the
Oh, you
consent
did?
agreement.
Okay.
It's very specific to
Yeah, I remember it.
campground use, but it
Right.
does address like picnic tables and fire
Fire
pits
pits.
and
Yeah.
whatnot down near the water. So yeah,
Right.
that is part of the memo. I know they're aware of that as well.
So, yeah, and I saw that, the fire. So what is your plan for that area?
So currently, that area houses like a kayak launch onto like the little river and the outlet into the lake. So we were hoping to leave that as like public access, so all of the people that own or use the lots are able to also make it down to the waterfront and into the water.
So who is it for now?
It's all one property as of right now. It's
Right.
25 acres altogether.
Yeah.
So there's one single-family home down by the water. You can see that number 1 lot.
Yep.
That's like a home that's already constructed. So they currently have access to the waterfront, but they're the only ones. So our hope was if we could subdivide it into more lots, that all the other lots would maintain that access to the lakefront.
And the community area in the middle is basically just for like a communal garden, not so much anything towards a campground use at all.
Yeah.
It's just a big open field
Were
right
you
now.
thinking of proposing docks and things like that, or are those specifically prohibited?
No, I think we wanted to do a docks for the one down at the waterfront and maybe a secondary for the common use, but that was about it.
So that's why I was asking about
Yeah, I
what,
don't
I'd like
recall
to see the
docs.
actual consent
Yep, we
agreement.
can- that'll
I don't
save
need
on
it tonight, but,
Yep.
so I think that, for me, it's going to be important to clarify what you're proposing to do down there. I remember the ancient history of the campground and what happened, but not the details of it, so that would be one thing as we kind of work through the process to make sure you're clear about what you either are or aren't planning for that area.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot planned for it. We just wanted to grant access to all the other lots, is all.
Yeah, well, I guess from my point of view, it's important, like what you want, either want to happen or specifically don't want to happen.
Okay.
So once you're done, it's clear to people what they
Right.
can and can't do.
Is there any red flags that you can think of right off the
I,
top of your
I
head?
don't know, that's why I'm saying,
Yeah.
certainly whatever's in the consent agreement is going to control it, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
as per the memo, the fire pit and the picnic tables were explicitly called out per that consent agreement. I don't
Yeah.
recall seeing docs, but we can certainly have that for next time. Have that as part of your submittals for.
Yep.
for them.
I mean, to me, I think it sounds like you're proposing something very low impact, and that's, I think, what would be desirable from my standpoint,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
so if that's what you want, we should clarify that, so later on, it doesn't turn into something different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
right now, like the original property owners, they went into this purchasing the 25 acres as their dream house, you know. And then construction costs got out of control for them, and they just aren't used to that kind of terminology, and I think they got taken advantage of a little bit. So that's why we kind of like got brought in to kind of help them out, so we can figure out a way to, one, for them to keep the property, but still like break it apart so it's not financially overbearing for them also. So that's kind of why we want to do that, and then we want to put not large homes, but just, you know, maybe 3-bedroom, 2-bath on each single lot, make it easy, and then perhaps, depending on if we have to reduce lots, maybe just sell one off so they can create some form of income generated on the property, is what our original plan is to go for.
And then, obviously, the CMP thing stood out, but it sounds like you're already working with them, so.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the two initial things that jumped out at me. Melinda, did you have any questions?
Actually, it's a little, these plans is a little difficult to tell what's being proposed and what's there. It's, I mean, I know it's sketch plan, but, there's a new road that would be constructed, but there's already a road to lot number 1, and so the frontage will be off of that lot, this road here.
Can you put your mic down?
Yeah, there,
Oh, sorry about that.
Just for the.
So there's already access to the house on
A driveway.
lot number 1. It's
Yeah.
a driveway. And I'm just trying to, is there a new road that would be constructed?
well, it's
kind of?
it's a loop that brings it all the way down, and on lot number 7, there's another, I'd say like, an older road that went from Westwood, that went all the way up into Egypt
So it's this
at
here.
one point.
But yeah, that's
Oh,
running
okay.
through other lots, so we're not gonna be able to use that part of that road.
see.
So our proposal originally was to put a new road up through the slice that hits Egypt Road. But after we talked to CMP, we realized that no roads can be constructed on that easement, so that part of the plan we understand is not feasible.
Okay.
So if anything, we would use the dirt road as far to the property edge as we could to give road frontage for some of those properties that don't have proper road frontage on the existing
Okay.
loop.
Yeah, it's just, preliminary, I guess.
So that gives you like your frontage for 8, or 6
Yeah,
and 8. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, I see, so these are other houses, this is, so they're really, where's the common area to be?
It's right between 2 and 9.
Oh, it's just this little
It's
bit.
it's a
Oh,
field
maybe it's
right
not
now.
that.
Yeah, it's an open
Okay.
It's just
I
an open
missed-
field at the moment, so the road runs on either side of this open field. And the idea was to keep the field open and plant gardens there,
Oh.
but
Oh,
And the secondary
So-
common point was right beside number one.
House
Yeah,
number one down
okay,
by the
yeah,
water
so
on the
that-
left
Yeah, so
side.
there's two like common areas.
Oh.
so where
They're
it's
quite small.
marked field, that's one common area. And the other one is next to the inlet.
Yeah.
Like a canoe launch.
So are you the engineer?
I'm the builder.
Oh.
New builder.
Okay. But will you have an engineer involved, or are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, we need soil samples, wetland delineation, the whole thing's gotta get surveyed, so.
Yeah, and a
This
site
is-
plan.
Septic engineering,
Yeah.
road planning.
This is just to get us the point to see if we're allowed to
Okay.
put as many lots as we want to put on there.
Oh, here we go. This-
So we're not going to be able to determine that tonight. I don't
Yeah.
want to speak out of turn, but
What, yeah,
just determining how many lots you can have on the
Right.
property.
Yeah.
Again, that's going to come down to the
It's gonna-
survey, your
Right.
net residential area calculations, all of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Just
we,
to be
and we
clear,
do
like
have the
it's-
wetland kind of mapped out, and we do meet all the qualifications that we kind of reviewed before.
Each lot has
So-
40,000 square foot. I pulled a wetland map and an ArcGIS file offline and kind of lined that up with the Google Earth that you see here. And just like calculated the square footage. So I made sure they each had 40,000 in the shoreline zoning minimum.
okay, so you have a copy of Kristen's memo for tonight, yes or no?
I don't know if we have a copy with us here, but we did read
I
it.
asked because there's a number of staff comments. Has she shared those
Yep.
with you? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think we need to go through them one by one here, but those are typically things that you'll need to address.
In the next.
We can,
Yeah.
if you have any questions for us here, I'll kind of do it that way rather than stepping through each one. So I would say, assume you need to do it unless we talk about it. There's just a lot of kind of routine stuff here related to what you have to provide. So is there anything here that you need some guidance on at this point?
I guess the only question that we still have, and we talked to Kristen about this a little before the meeting, was the CMP easement that's 100 feet off that line on the old subdivision. We were just trying to clarify, is we're allowed to include that in lot sizes, or is that not able to be included in lot sizes?
So we want to include it in the lot size, but not build on,
Mhm.
on those
Yeah.
areas.
I don't know if we can answer that tonight, but
Okay.
Kristen can.
That was our only like real
Yeah.
question of, because that will affect obviously our total acreage that we can work
Right.
with. It's like almost a 5.5 acre easement, so.
Kristen, is there anything related to that other, I remember that other subdivision, and I remember the CMP thing being an issue with that one, which is why they did it the way they did it. I remember, like, at one point, they were gonna bring the road in from the side, and it was like super hilly and some other stuff. Maybe it was before your time.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yep, I did look at the
I'm
plan.
dating myself.
The,
I guess what I was asking is, I didn't know, maybe it's not relevant, but anything related to that subdivision and the easement, but, I mean, the easement's written and documented, and
yeah, I
it's in
think,
the registry, so maybe it doesn't matter.
I think that piece is going to end up being a legal question, but you probably need to get a determination on how to,
Yeah.
it's your property, what does it mean for your property?
Yep.
Just to clarify it, my read of it was that it had restrictions on what you could do with it, but it's yours.
Yep.
But again, you'd want to confirm
Yeah.
that with legal.
Okay,
Just to make
cool.
really sure, because that's a little outside of our scope, but you'd want
Okay.
to show the board that it can count toward your lot count,
Yep,
that
absolutely.
it's your land.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
Thank
the
you.
guidance, sorry, just one second. So the guidance is not that the staff is going to give them a determination, but they should come here and either make their case as to why they think it should?
I think typically an easement, you own the land and you grant an
Yeah,
easement to another party,
right.
you own it and it would
Yep.
count. But I think it's something we need to review and take a look at, legally have that read over by someone other than me.
Right.
Who can,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
can speak to that for sure and look at the language and,
So I guess what I'm
And confirm
asking
it.
for their benefit,
Yeah.
are you asking them to start that process, or?
I would say, yeah, I would
Is the-
say so. That part should be confirmed, that it is part of your land. And I think your survey will be part of that
Okay.
review.
Yep.
That's something your surveyor would review. I would think.
Okay.
So yeah, we can certainly have some back and forth on that,
Yeah, of
as you move
course.
forward to getting all the pieces together.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
But yeah.
Okay. Linda, I know you had something you were going to say.
Do we normally get sketch plans that don't have any engineering involved yet? I feel like I'm struggling here.
Yeah,
Because
sketch
I-
pen is a very low threshold.
Yes, okay, all right.
Yep.
It can literally be a sketch.
It is very much a sketch. It's a little hard for me, and I think there's some things that have been evolving, but
Yep.
I'm,
We just got the email from CMP like yesterday morning.
Gotcha,
So we're trying
yeah.
to like scrounge together like the last few things. But
Sure.
That's our most updated
Yeah.
info.
I mean, it's hard to give a lot of feedback because we already know the lots are going to change because of CMP.
So I've got
So
that-
it's-
we just kind of drew this up real quick, and it shows the delineation of CMP, and this is your stream
Just hold it up
protection.
so Jen, you can see it too. If you can talk backwards.
oh, okay, all right. That's very helpful, because this was not doing it for me. I was
Yeah,
just
yeah. So-
feeling really
So they
lost.
you can't have that road can't continue.
Yep.
That's prevented by easement,
Yep.
and you can't build on it,
Mm-hmm.
so.
And so the
So
road to
this
the
is different
subdivision
because-
is where?
Comes down
Well, the original one
Westwood.
is here, this red line. kind of
Oh,
shoots
okay.
down
Okay.
to This house and then the water.
Gotcha,
And it does make a loop around a field,
okay.
and we were trying to hope to get like one extra lot out of this by kind of like saving that road there, and then we would get a total of 7.
Mm,
But if that can't happen, it can't happen.
mm.
But it would
Yeah.
make a big deal.
And you're looking for open space subdivision, you're saying,
Yeah.
so this is the bulk of your open space.
Correct, yeah.
I don't know that we talked
Would be,
about.
yeah,
I
it
thought that
wasn't
was-
actually
Residential open
specified as an open space. It was
I thought I
discussed
read
that it
that.
could be, but I don't know if that we have enough land to
Yeah, well,
make
that's what, that
open
was my,
space with the
that
amount
was my
of.
question. I thought I saw it in the
Yeah.
application. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, because I was looking at it like, that's not enough open space to do that.
Yeah, it's really just a sliver in the bigger picture.
So, and this is the existing homeowner from the existing home for the existing homeowner here, and that stays, right?
This is a new build here, and that's an existing.
Oh, that's the existing.
I guess it used to be a shower house of some form,
Hmm.
but it's a single-family house.
Oh, there's
thought-
two houses.
Okay, so this says single-family
This one's
dwelling in this
already at,
sketch.
Like 60% completion.
Oh, it's partially built,
And
okay.
that's where we kind of came in to kind of take this over, but this is already constructed.
And that's a cabin listed
Yeah,
here,
Exactly, yeah.
like a bunkhouse or?
So-
I don't know what it was. It's-
Storage shed?
It is a storage shed at the moment.
Okay, so there would be another structure on that slot 7.
Seven.
In addition to what's there. Is that what you're saying?
No, we would want one single
So
structure.
you would get rid of the one that's there?
I don't know, I think we would try to like revamp it or renovate it. of
Okay.
some form.
Yeah, okay, so,
So not two residences
No.
on that lot?
Correct.
yeah, so I guess clarify what you want to do with that structure would be something for sure,
Yeah, it would remain existing for sure.
yeah.
And then the.
Well, I
property-
think I don't think we would want like two separate structures.
No. And then there is 2 existing large septic fields because of, it was an old bathhouse. So one of them is getting used for this home,
Yep,
and then one can remain for,
okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
so
all-
your engineering plan will show
Yeah.
all that.
yeah.
And obviously, it's going to be a little complicated with your shoreland and lake, and there's a lot of zones.
Right.
That'll all be on the plan.
Well, if we're gonna do a site walk, that will tell us a lot
Do you
more.
have enough space for the septic system for each lot?
Well, we gotta get a septic engineer involved in that, but it's still one extra thing we gotta figure out.
You might have to use the pretreatment.
I don't know what the soils are like over there, but it's right on the lake.
If you're gonna
I
have questions,
I
you might
don't
want
know
to go
how
back
to
to
read
the
the
mic.
soils, so.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, if you could go back to the mic, because anyone watching on TV, which is We have a big followership here. They can't hear you.
It's more for reference.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, thanks, Kristen.
So, and lot one, I have a question. Lot one, it looks like it's separated on the left side. There is area which is separated. So that's a common area, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's where you said the kayak rack.
Yeah, right now it's just a little clearing in the bush to put your kayak in, nothing else, so.
Yeah.
We just wanna keep it pretty low impact, like you said, but allow the access to the whole neighborhood rather than just that lot.
DEP will have anything to do with it? I think like it should be 100
What?
feet. DEP will allow to do it? Because
Do-
I know that the limit is 100 feet usually from the water body.
To do what?
To do any work there, cut the tree, for example.
It's existing right now. We don't plan to do anything
Okay.
there.
Yeah, we're not making changes, really.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, the
Yeah.
shoreline impact would be reviewed by codes and it might be part of their engineered
Yeah.
plan as well. I do, as a side note, when you're ready, I have
Yep.
some comments
Sure.
from Public Works regarding number 8.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so he has a different plan that he's sketched up that doesn't have the same number 8, but let's just make sure we're all,
Oh, I meant number 8
oh, number 8 in the memo, okay.
Yep, not number 8 the
Yep.
lot.
Okay,
Let's see. We went on site, Public Works, to get some input on the entryway of the existing driveway, because I think that's what's proposed as the entry to become the road. So we're looking at site distance and quality of the road and that sort of thing, so just rough input off the bat. Westwood is a paved road, fairly fresh pavement. It is twisty, and there's some site distance questions either way. It would definitely have to be measured, I'm aware of that. It looks like there might need to be some clearing provisions that are part of the plan and part of the covenants or whatnot. And they're thinking it's probably all on their property, so it would not require easements, but there might be part across the road the other way, like looking to your right, coming out of the driveway. That might be on the opposite side of the road, that may involve some discussion of easement for clearing, given the way the road turns, and you'll see it when you're there.
yeah,
And the only other major concern that was brought up was that it's very steep right now. That driveway is quite steep, and some of the gravel's coming off into the road. So subdivision does have requirements for the grade, so that piece would need to be addressed. And potentially, the Public Works Director had mentioned some paving of the apron to keep the gravel where it should be.
Because the proposal is a gravel road, not a paved road to the subdivision?
I believe so at this point, yeah, they're talking, we're 7 lots if we can get them, and that's below the threshold for paving. The paving is more than 10. You're certainly welcome to pave, but it's not a requirement in the subdivision ordinance.
yeah,
Is gravel considered impervious?
Yes.
yeah. Okay, yeah, so, and you've read her other, or town's other comments around shared wells and septics and all that, so. So site walk, I would say, yes, we definitely are
Yes.
going to want to see this. However, I would also say, I think we need an updated plan first. I'd rather not have us walk it until you have a better idea of what your lot layout is going to be, so we can actually see the road center line and see where your intended lots are. So I'm not sure it makes sense to schedule it tonight. Unless,
Timeline looks like.
what's that?
I know what your time, it might be
Yeah.
helpful also to have the shoreline flagged out.
Yeah.
To have
Well,
an
yeah,
idea of where
right.
that is.
Yeah.
I don't know what your timeline is.
Yeah, we've been talking to people about getting a wetland delineation done. I've gotten quotes, so we're gonna move forward soon and then get all of that figured out. And then once we have the engineering plans, I think it'll be easier for us to kind of set things up on the lot so you can see them.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, usually, I mean, we don't want you to invest too much in the
Yeah.
engineering because we might request changes, but, you know, definitely like the survey and lot lines, road center line, wetlands and things like that. We definitely, vernal pools, right?
Say that again?
vernal pools, if there's any.
Just like other wetlands. We don't have any.
Yeah, so even if we were to set one, we probably want to set it like a couple months out, because you have a lot to do.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
You're
I'd rather
ready for it,
not
and
set it that
Maybe
far out.
the
but-
next board meeting, we set it, because you'll have made more progress, and you can just talk to Kristen, and you don't have to be here for us to schedule a
Okay.
sidewalk.
Okay.
Would that work? That way you don't have to give notice in the funky way if we set it.
Yeah, if it's said in the public meeting, we can
Yeah,
save
we
the
can-
public notice money. But
That's right.
That's up to you.
But I mean, if, it doesn't feel appropriate to schedule it
Yeah.
now, but we could schedule it at the next board meeting, you know.
Yep, yeah, if you
Well,
want to
that's-
reach out to me when you're ready, and then
Yeah.
you can bring it to them on your behalf.
Okay, that works out, yeah.
And
Thank
how,
you.
does that work for your timing if you do some work over the next month and then we set a,
I think that should be fine, yeah.
But overall, it seems like we can move forward without any problems for the most part.
I mean,
No hard
Yeah,
blockages.
We're,
so the key is stay in touch with Kristen if you have questions and, you know, you can obviously do what's allowed, but it's, I mean, there's, you know, some stuff with this, it's on the water, it's next to a stream,
Yeah.
like it's, you know, there'll be some scrutiny, but
Yeah,
you'll be aware and the town will make you aware of all the setbacks and I'm sure your engineer that you use is gonna be aware of all that, so. Yeah, and we'll work with you as best we can to come up with something that works for everyone.
awesome, thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant or
No, I'm also,
any other questions for us that would help you? Like things you're wondering one way or the other, like about something you might be contemplating that we can give you some guidance on?
I think the biggest thing we were thinking about was the CMP issue, you know,
Yeah.
and that sounds like it's gonna boil down to verbiage, legal verbiage for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, for
All
us,
confirmed.
that's between you and CMP, what you,
Yeah.
Right.
what they allow you to do.
Right.
And then I think the only question might be the question that you asked, which is, can you use it for your,
Yeah,
area or not?
okay.
And I don't know the answer to that, so. I think, you know, the town, whatever you come up with, we'll ask the town to review and make sure they agree with it, so.
Okay.
Okay. So at this point, we'll get all our surveys done, get all our plots pointed out, and get them actually out there and tagged everywhere, and
Then I
then
give them a call.
we'll take a walkthrough.
Yeah, and we don't necessarily have to walk like every single lot. We typically would walk the road. We would want to look at any special features, either steep areas, unbuildable areas. We'll certainly want to see the open areas, and any kind of wetlands and things like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Anything else?
yeah, I think.
I'm assuming that this is sort of implied, but obviously this new road is gonna have, stormwater and all of that
Yes.
jazz,
Yeah.
particularly
Yeah.
on the lake. The other thing I would just add as you're going forward is we are not especially inclined to grant waivers on things.
Yeah.
And I would say especially on the lake, I would
Yeah.
be,
Yeah,
so if, it hasn't mentioned that any of them are coming up, but probably just figure out a way around it.
cool, thank you.
Yeah, those are two very good points. Road and like phosphorus runoff and things like that are hugely detrimental to the lake, so that's a key one to pay special attention to. And as Melinda said, we don't often grant waivers, and this kind of looks like anything related to water and environmental type stuff, you're probably not going to get a waiver on this project, so
Fair enough.
you're always free to ask, but
You're fine. We met with Kristen, a few weeks ago, and you kind of alluded to the fact that waivers aren't really a thing in shoreline zoning, so
Yeah.
we're pretty well aware.
right?
Yeah, some of it's not even up for discussion. in
Right.
state law.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
All right,
awesome.
I think we're all set for now, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, I think that is it then, right?
Would you hear a motion to adjourn?
I'd love to hear that.
I move we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, that's 3-0. Adjourn the meeting at 7:35.